G'day, Ian here. Welcome back to another episode of Lookout for Lookouts. As I mentioned in my previous video, I'm going to show you how to triangulate a fire out there in the forest or in the bush. And what I've got with me today is 3 of our grandkids that are going to assist me to do that. Now over this side, I've got Michael, he's in one of the fire towers. Over this side, I've got Thomas, he's in another fire tower. And right at the end there, we've got Frankie. Okay, so Frankie is in the other fire tower. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around to each one of them and ask them. Now what we've set up on the ground here, we've established where north, south, east and west is by using a stick in the ground and measuring the movement of the shadow. And when we draw a line between those 2 points after about 30 minutes, that will give us east-west. And then what we do is we draw a perpendicular line to that and cross it, and then we end up with north and south. So basically we've got a grid pattern set up on the ground as we would if we were looking at a map. So at the night time, if you were trying to find north and south at night time, you can use the Southern Cross, and I'll put up here a little illustration later on how that's actually done. But for the day we're using the sundial one and to get true north. And behind we've got a rough grid pattern that's going to think. So each one of these grids is broken into 11 by 11, and each grid represents approximately 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. So now we're going to find out where the fire towers are located, and then we're going to find out where the fire is located, which I've marked here with this green pole. So the kids are going to be using their azimuth or a compass at the background there to actually pinpoint this position, and then we can get a grid reference. Okay, all right, thank you. That's the first part, and then I'll catch you on the other side of the video as we go to going with the kids now, how we're actually going to do it. All right, take care, we'll see you shortly. All right, so here we are. Young Frankie is in her fire tower, and she's got a message through on the old telephone that goes bring, bring, bring. Okay, so she's going to take the details, and she's been told that there is a fire or smoke on the horizon in a westerly direction. But we need to be more accurate. We need to know a bearing of what that is. So Frankie, what have we got on here?
Mine is between 270 and 280.
Okay, so she's taken a bearing to where the fire was, and it's between 270 and 280, so 275 degrees west. So that's the message that she would send back to the ranger, and so he can look at the map. And she's also looking at a map in the fire tower to get a bearing. So that's the bearing, and this is talking about not magnetic bearings, this is actually talking about true north or grid bearings on a map. So that's Frankie. Thank you, Frankie. So you can see the smoke out there. Is it a big fire?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big fire. Okay, we're going to need lots of firefighters here in the forest. So, okay, now we're going to go over to Michael, and then we'll get his bearings, all right? Good on you.
Bye.
All right, Michael, so what have you got on your bearing, mate?
We have around 310.
Around 310 degrees. So he's looking in a westerly direction or southwest. Okay, so yours is 310?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do with that is we'll measure that on the map as you would, the ranger would at the station. So now he's got 2 reference points. He's got one from our lookout at Frankie. Now they got another reference point here with young Michael. It's given them, what did you say, Michael?
310 degrees west.
Okay, 370?
310.
310. Okay, 310, a correction on that one. 310 degrees. All right, so again, just remember, this is a grid reference, not a magnetic reference in the bearing. Okay, thank you, Michael. Okay, all right, second take. Okay, here we are with Thomas in his fire tower. So Thomas, what bearing do we have to our fire?
130 and 130 and 120.
Okay, so between, no, that's 229. Yeah, so between 230 and 240, is it? Okay, so his is between 230 and 240, so that's 235. So that's the bearing, and so that'll be south-southwest, 230 degrees. All right, so now he's going to get on the telephone and report that to the ranger. So now we've got all 3 fire towers. We can now triangulate. And what I'll do later on is I'm going to actually mark the video with the lines so you can see how it actually works. All right, thank you very much, folks. We'll catch you later on, and we've had a lot of fun here with the grandkids in making this little short video on how to triangulate a fire out there in the forest. So what do you reckon, Thomas? We're going to send a crew out? Okay, Thomas reckons we're going to have to send a crew out. So everybody come over here. Okay.
Not everybody.
Okay, so here's everybody there. Now, the grandkids also were bloggers, so they like to do videos also, so they probably look for their channel. I'll add that in the bottom of the video when I edit it, where you can go to see their little videos. So thanks, guys. Been a lot of fun this morning in working out how to do a grid reference. Okay, thank you, and take care out there, folks.
Bye.
Well, that was a lot of fun with the grandkids, and I do apologise for a couple of corrections I had to make there. Going one side to the other and round and about, kind of lost track where I was. Good thing I'm not teaching anybody how to read a map lately. Probably would have got lost. Anyway, hopefully with this little insert that I've included at the end of the video, we'll clarify some of the things that we're actually talking about. So we have there, with the assistance of Gemini AI, we've got north there, marked on the map with Thomas's fire tower. Then on the right-hand side in the east, we've got Frankie's fire tower. And then, of course, in the south, we've got Michael's fire tower. Now, what I've included on that, the bearings from each one of their reference points. So we've got Thomas at 235 degrees, Frankie at 275 degrees, and Michael at 310 degrees. Now, they all pointed to the west, and if you have a look at the little insert I've included there, this is, if this was genuine fire, this is a genuine reference now. It's 27.646113 degrees south, so in other words, south of the equator, and it's 157 degrees 0.864298 east of Greenwich, where all this reference work is actually taken from. So everything's measured from Greenwich in there in England. So that'll give you a bit of an idea of what it looks like if you're looking on a grid pattern and how the rangers can triangulate. So thanks for your attention and joining us, guys, and had a lot of fun, as I said, with the grandkids, and we will catch you on the next video. Take care out there. Bye for now.